are camels? Camels are often transported to places where they lack water, food, and shelter. Would you take care of a camel if you were one of the people that would benefit from it? Would you put it down? Would you leave it in the desert to die? Camel is a type of animal that can be domesticated from the dromedary and the Bactrian camel. Camels are able to go without food, water, and sleep for long periods of time. They also have thick fur that protects them from the cold and hot weather. Camels are a type of dromedary, and they are used as livestock. They can be found in the wild and arid regions of North Africa, the Middle East, and Central Asia. The word camel is derived from Arabic jamala, which was first recorded in 934 AD when it referred to the animal. The first known use of camel in English dates back to 1178 AD. A brief history of the camel. The camel was the first animal to be domesticated by humans. It is believed that camels were domesticated around 10,000 years ago, in what is now known as the Middle East. The camel has been used for its milk, meat, and wool since that time. They were also used for transportation and trading purposes. The camel was one of the most important animals in history because it helped create trade routes between countries and regions. The camel is an animal that has been used for a variety of purposes throughout history. They are now used in the Middle East and North Africa for transportation, food, and water. The first camel was domesticated about 5500 BC by the Sumerians in Mesopotamia. The first mention of the camel was found in a Sumerian text from 2300 BC. Camels were also used to carry heavy loads across difficult terrain, and to move them over long distances without tiring their riders much. The camel is an animal that has a long history of being used for its different purposes. In ancient times, it was used for transporting goods and people. In more recent times, it has been used in the medical field as a way to help with blood loss. 6 amazing facts about camels. Camels are known for their long necks, humps on their backs, and long eyelashes. They are also the only animal that can go without water for a week. 1. Camels have the largest eyes of any land mammal. 2. Camels can go without water for a week by storing it in their humps. 3. They can sleep standing up and eat while they're awake. 4. Camels have the longest pregnancy in relation to body size of any mammal, with a gestation period of about 11 months. 5. The camel is the only animal that has 2 sets of teeth, one set for eating plants and another set for eating meat. 6. Camels have been domesticated since 3000 BC. How much water does a camel need? The amount of water a camel needs depends on the climate, the terrain, and the weight of the animal. In hot climates, camels need to drink about 50 to 100 liters of water per day. However, in colder climates they need to drink less than that. On average, a camel needs about 3 liters of water per day. A group of camels needs around 100 gallons of water a day to survive. If you are planning on taking a trip out in the desert with your camel, it is important that you have enough water for both of you. Camel. A camel is a dromedary, an animal of the Bactrian and dromedary family that can be found in the wild in North Africa and Western Asia. It is classified as a strictly herbivorous mammal. Camels are the only animals that can go without water for more than 1 week. It is difficult to answer this question because there are many factors that determine how much water a camel needs. However, it is safe to say that camels need about 20 gallons of water per day. How long do camels survive without water? Camels are able to survive without water for a long time, but they cannot live without it. They can go without water for up to 2 weeks, but they will die of dehydration in less than 24 hours if water is not available. Camels are able to survive without water for about 3 weeks. The major concern with camels is that they are able to drink salt water. When a camel drinks salty water, it has to draw the fluid from its body through its mouth and carry it back in order to replace the lost fluid. This process takes a lot of energy and can cause dehydration and death if the animal doesn't find fresh water soon enough. Camels are able to survive without water for a long time because they have an efficient system of storing and using the moisture in their body. The myths of camels' ability to survive without water. Camel is a large mammal that is considered to be a key animal in the arid and semi-arid regions of the world. It has been reported that it can survive without water for up to 3 weeks. The myth of camel's ability to survive without water has been around for centuries. However, recent studies have shown that this myth might not be true. Camel's ability to survive without water is a myth because there are many factors that contribute to its death, such as hunger, exhaustion, dehydration, and lack of protection from predators. The myth that the camel can survive without water is popular among many people. However, it is not true. The camel needs to drink at least once every day, and if they are deprived of water for more than 3 days, they will die from dehydration and starvation. The truth about the water consumption of a wild camel. The water consumption of a wild camel is not as high as it seems. In the desert, camels are often seen as an important source of drinking water. They are able to survive in harsh conditions and can go without food for weeks. But how much do they really drink? The answer might surprise you. The average adult male camel drinks about 1 liter of water per day, which is equivalent to drinking around 10 gallons of pure water per day. The truth about the water consumption of a wild camel is that it's not as much as you think. A wild camel can drink up to 2 gallons of water in 1 day and can survive for up to 3 days without drinking any water. Camels are known to drink up to 40 gallons of water a day. Camels are known for drinking more than other animals because they can go through the heat, which is the main source of their water needs. How the camel uses its senses to stay hydrated. The camel is a mammal that has adapted to survive in dry environments. It can use its sense of smell to detect water, and its sense of sight to observe the sand for signs of water. The camel uses its senses to stay hydrated. The camel's sense of smell allows it to detect water from far distances, while its sight helps it find the best sources of water. The camel can also carry a large amount of water in its hump and store it in their bladder until they find a source or need more. This allows them to drink as much as they want without having to stop moving or risk getting dehydrated. Camel is a large, humpbacked mammal that can survive in extreme desert conditions. They have an extremely sensitive nose and can detect water sources from miles away. Camel is able to use its sense of smell to find water sources in the desert. It can also use its sensitive eyesight to navigate through the desert and avoid predators. Camel uses its sense of smell to find water sources in the desert by following their own scent trail, which they leave behind every time they take a step. Camel also uses its eyesight to see predators or obstacles and avoid them when necessary. Water consumption in camels and how it relates to their ability to survive without it. Camels are able to survive without drinking water. They can go for long periods without it and still survive. This is due to their ability to store water in their humps and humpback. This allows them to survive for weeks without water and even longer with access to water. Camels are able to survive without drinking water because they have a hump that stores up to 100 liters of water. The hump is filled with fat cells which help the camel absorb the moisture from the air, which they can then drink when they need it. Camels can go without water for about 3 to 4 days, but they need to drink at least 1 liter of water per day. They will not be able to survive without water for more than 5 days. Camels' ability to survive without water is a result of their high water consumption. Camels can survive for up to 3 weeks without any water and can go as long as 5 weeks without drinking. Conclusion: for how long can camels live without water? It depends on the climate and the type of camel. Camels can live without water for a few weeks but not for months.